Hallo miteinander, I'm Gesh86 and this is the Let's Play Summer Blockbuster. In SucksMadePeopleSexy.net tradition, week 4 of these contests is always Puzzle Week. As you can see, we are not breaking this tradition this time, because we are playing Dr. Mario on the NES. It's a pretty well-known, pretty renowned game. Probably not quite as popular as Tetris, but few things are. Besides, we already had that one in the Fall Funtacular, so we can always play the same games now, can we? But nonetheless, Dr. Mario has a very simple recipe for success. It is one of those puzzle games that is really easy to understand, but really difficult to master. I think you could make a study course out of Dr. Mario. That's how many things you can do with it, but I don't think you would get a job for studying that. No, seriously, no one would employ someone with a degree in Dr. Mario. As sad as that is. But nonetheless, the basic formula of Dr. Mario is basically connect 4. You are always given these pills, usually multicolored, and pretty much your objective is to match up these colored chambers so that they're in a vertical or horizontal line. And if you do that, you can destroy these viruses, because these viruses also have a color and count as a chamber. So connect them with the pill of the same color and they will dissolve. Simple as that. Now, these puzzle games, you may be a little bit skeptical about them. Can you really let's play a puzzle game? And I am really convinced that you can, because in the past these puzzle weeks have always been really interesting. People are getting very imaginative about their commentary, and I think it is because these games are just so weird to let's play. Usually you really don't have much to say about it, so you really have to think about what can you tell people. But yeah, apart from commentary, of course, we also have to play good, just as always. And you may be also thinking, style points in a puzzle game. What could you do for that? You could, of course, say you have to survive for a long time, but more sensible than that would be a score challenge, which makes you play more aggressive. And yes, this week is kind of a score challenge, but it is a score challenge with a twist. We are not competing with each other this time, so there won't be any like last minute uploads, I guess. Maybe, we don't know yet. Instead, we are given certain score thresholds made by our current and previous hosts of the competitions. So pretty much we know at the start how well we have to play to make points. So let's go over these score thresholds briefly, just so that we know what we're dealing with. In last place we have Polly with a respectable 4,600. It's okay, Polly, we understand. Next up, we have a big gap until we reach Freezing Inferno at 12,200. Above that, we have Zine Toto with 14,600. Gonna be tough to reach that. But even above that, we have the Dr. Puzzle himself, Heavy Metal Mage, with 15,300. Cracking that score is gonna be quite a feat. Maybe we can do it, maybe we can't. We will see. What else could I tell you without going off track? I've got it. Dr. Mario is an interesting game. It's pretty much not the kind of game that the average gamer would play. You know what kind of game it is? It is Yo Mama's game. That is right. It is the game where the housewives are truly the harbingers of medicinal warfare. I mean, you cannot compete with a Dr. Mario housewife. My own mom is scary good at this game. She always played it highest speed, level 20. It would be the stuff legends are made of, how well she did at this game. Really, I would not be able to compete with that, and to be honest, I briefly considered having her play for me. You would not notice if she did. I mean, my videos are always post-commentary, but you know, she has this problem with the low speed. We have to play on level 5 low speed, all the contestants, just so that it is fair, but let's imagine that if I let my mom, a true master of Dr. Mario, play this game, she would be so annoyed by the low speed, and she would get all grumpy. It would be like if you had someone in front of you on the road, and that guy would actually watch the speed limit. I mean, who does that? Who does that? You just annoy the other people around you. It would be just like that, and my mom would be all grumpy, and I would manage the recording software, and I would always have to tell her when to start and stop playing, and it would be bad. She would probably get so mad that she would make me do kitchen work, and that is my kryptonite. So, a terrible plan. An awful, awful plan. It will only end in tears. Now, since this is still kind of a score challenge, you might be saying, what is a good strategy for Dr. Mario in this case? And I think the best strategy is to play pretty much clever and efficient. We are starting on a very low level, on a very low speed, so there is relatively little risk. We don't have to play quickly, but we do have to set our pills cleverly so we don't waste time and so that we make combos. The way to score in Dr. Mario is making combos. If you destroy more than one virus with a single pill, you will get more points. Now, destroying a lot of viruses with the same pill may seem impossible, because you only have 2 chambers per pill, but you can destroy many viruses, because once you have something to solve, the construct will break, and some pills may be falling down on other viruses and destroy those, so you can make really good chains. Probably not on the level that we play, but if you, for example, destroy 6 viruses in the same move, you will get a whopping 6,300 points. That is a lot in Dr. Mario, and I haven't been able to do it so far, but it is possible. It is very possible. Pretty much anyone knows how to build a Tetris, but a 6-virus combo in Dr. Mario, that really takes a construction genius. Nonetheless, making combos is the way to go, if it means attacking these score thresholds. Now, the speed in Dr. Mario does increase after every 10th pill. You hear a little jingle if it does. But on the low speed it will never really get all that threatening, making this week relatively relaxing in my opinion, pretty much a thinker's challenge. But that's pretty much all I can tell you about the gameplay of Dr. Mario. I can tell you something about the story of Dr. Mario. Yes, Dr. Mario does in fact have a story. Before I replay that, I did not actually remember this story. It is truly Oscar-worthy. Basically, Mario became a research specialist in the Mushroom Kingdom. And the Mushroom Kingdom has its own research center for medicine, I guess. Before, I just always assumed that Mario was just a doctor, but apparently some experiment went wrong and now he has to use these super vitamins to contain viruses. I wonder what they are doing. Why are they breeding viruses? Are they like trying to make BOWs? Resident Koopa. Probably. It would really help against Bowser always kidnapping the princess if he had to deal with zombie Koopas. Definitely. So the way I see it, if the tip of the jar clogs up, we're gonna have a zombie apocalypse. So don't lose in this game. It is very important that you do not lose. But as I briefly said before, I always just thought that Mario was a medicinal doctor, like a head surgeon or something. Can you imagine that? A plumber from Brooklyn, I think it was Brooklyn, just suddenly becoming a doctor. How does that work? Did he like meet this guy on the street who looked like him? Then suddenly decided, I'm gonna shank this man over the head and take his stuff, his credentials and his code. Let's go. Well, maybe he did that and just became a fraud, making his malpractice at the hospital. I can think of some situations that would occur, like, Doctor, we have this burn victim down in the ER too. Just give him an enema and it will be bravissimo. Hoo-hoo, waha, it's me, Mario, I mean Dr. Carlson. That's what it will be like. I mean, I bet Mario has all his knowledge about medicine from Grey's Anatomy, and that is that as a doctor, you get to make out with your colleagues. Because that is what this show teaches you. But enough about my theories about Mario becoming a terrible doctor. Dr. Mario has an interesting history in that it remained over the years pretty much unchanged. There were a lot of remakes and pretty much ports of the game, but it never really changed all that much. It always basically stayed Connect 4. There was on the Super Nintendo Tetris and Dr. Mario, where you could do mixed matches, and it would be interesting because you would at one moment play Tetris and you would clear that round and then you would go on to Dr. Mario and no longer Tetris. And I think that it would be very interesting, very confusing, just changing games like that. But Tetris and Dr. Mario is not all. There was also Dr. Mario 64 that we had, where they introduced a lot of different play modes, but still it would still be always Dr. Mario. However, I do in fact know of an unofficial game where they changed the whole formula. It's called Dr. Yagokuro, and it is pretty much Toho Dr. Mario. Yes, even that was Toho-ized. Pretty much anything can be Toho-ized, and pretty much anything is Toho-ized in the world. What a weird word, Toho-ize. Even difficult to say, but that game pretty much reversed the whole mechanisms of this game. The immortal Moon Princess Kaguya is sick and you have to destroy her viruses. However, her viruses are also immortal, so pretty much nothing you do has any relevance whatsoever. It is just an arcade game about scoring. And the thing is, you cannot actually move pills in that game. They are thrown down at certain positions and you can swap their capsules, but that's all there is to it. Instead, you drag and drop the 3 viruses and pretty much use viruses to destroy pills instead of using pills to destroy viruses. It is really reverse Dr. Mario if you think about it. Very clever indeed. The game itself, by the way, is in Flash, so it's one of those humble little time killers. Now, I've already beaten Zine Toto's score. I'm doing pretty well so far. We've still got a few minutes, like 1.5. And I haven't really talked about the secret achievement this time. We have no easy or hard achievement for this week, but we do have a secret achievement called Winners Don't Use Drugs in Just One Way. And I really had to ponder about this secret achievement. And what I think it might be is destroying a virus from below. Now, that is a very unusual thing to do in Dr. Mario. Usually you either destroy viruses from the top, pretty much the closest thing to do. Sometimes you can destroy them from the side, like I think I'm going to do with these viruses, yeah. But destroying a virus from below is a very unusual thing to do, and I'm not sure if it means that we have to, in fact, tower from below, or if a virus just has to be, if pretty much the last pill has to be put below a virus. I think I did put a pill below a virus and made it dissolve on 1327, but I did not, the virus was not on top, so I'm not sure if I would get that point, but we will see. Now, I've gotta say, I'm quite proud of how this turned out. I didn't really have to play this game all that much to crack the scores. Maybe it was by luck. Or maybe I am the virus born and I just didn't know it yet. Or maybe it is the blood of my ancestors, meaning my mom, because none of my other ancestors have ever played Dr. Mario. But nonetheless, we are coming to the end of this video. I think I timed out at 19,000 points, which is okay. So, I'm Gish86. This was the Let's Play Summer Blockbuster Week 4, Puzzle Week, with Dr. Mario. Bis bald!